Are you suffering from slow database issues, but you're not quite sure where the issues lay? Do you wish you had a magic tool that could provide all the answers and had AI baked in? I'm Dan, and today we're going to be covering a short introduction on Prisma Optimize. But what is Prisma Optimize? Well, Prisma Optimize was launched in May of this year, 2024, and it was designed to help you generate insights on your database queries. It's like having a personal performance coach, but for database queries. It works with loads of popular databases like PostgreSQL, MySQL, and my favorite, SQLite, making it fit any use case. Okay, enough talk. Let's see Prisma Optimize in action. Now, before we jump straight into the Optimize dashboard and start looking at all our queries, we're going to need something to make queries, and we're going to need a database to make queries against. So let's pull down one of Prisma's starter packages to get us all bootstrapped and ready to go. We'll use npx, try Prisma, latest version, and because we're using Optimize, let's use the Optimize starter template. Now, it's okay to go ahead here and just default answer to everything. And this will now start downloading, extracting, and installing everything that we need. Good, we're all done. Now let's head into the project and run npm build. If we have a little look in the project, we'll see packages, server, Prisma, and then in here we can see that our data source is being set up as SQLite, and we have the database file all set up. But we're not quite ready to go yet. We do need to take a copy of the example environment file and just remove everything so we are ready to add our Prisma Optimize token. But to do that, we're going to need to head over to the Optimize dashboard and grab it. In order to access the Optimize dashboard and get our API key, we'll need to head over to console.prisma.io and create an account. I already have an account, so I can simply log in with GitHub. Once on the dashboard, let's head over to Optimize and launch Optimize. Now, because I don't have anything connected, there's no projects actually hooked up, there's nothing that I can record, we'll just click here to create our first API key. Give it a name and create. And I'll give that a copy. Now don't worry, I will delete the key before this goes live. So now let's head back over to our project and add that API key. Back in the project, let's add our API key and then get this thing started. Give it a save and then run npm start. This is going to do two things. This is going to start both the client and the server. You can see the server is running on port 4444, but we have an application that we can access on port 5173. So let's head over to that, start a recording, and start to see them queries flying. Okay, now we're back in the dashboard, you'll see things have changed a little bit. We now have some examples of what to add to our code, but we don't need that right now because we used one of the sample projects. So let's go ahead and click Start New Recording. Now Optimize is listening out for any queries that we send to our database. So let's send some. Learn Prisma. Good. I think we have enough to start analyzing our queries, so let's go ahead and stop recording. Now we've stopped recording, we can go through these queries in greater detail. If we look at the query dashboard, we see three main options. We have queries, groups, and recommendations. Queries will simply show every single query that was captured. It can be a little bit noisy, so if you go to groups, we can have all these queries grouped
And in our case, we have 4 main types of queries. If you remember, we created, we set to complete, we set to incomplete, and we deleted. So that gave us 4 main groups. Within these groups, we can see the average time it took to execute, the 50th percentile, 99th percentile, the maximum time it took to execute, error rate, count, and how long ago it was recorded. If we click into any of these, we'll get to see the pattern that all of the queries matched. We have the raw query string, which can be useful. And then we see all the individual queries that make up this group. Now, this is great for having an overview, but the real magic comes from the recommendations tab. In here, you can see we have 8 different recommendations based on what Prisma Optimize saw in our queries. Now, a little secret, I did do this once before, which is why it's starting at 10. It would really start at 1. If we click into any of these, Optimize will give us some recommendations. In this case, an excessive number of rows is returned, and it suggests that we use the take option in our Prisma code. We have a bunch of reasons of why this could be an issue, followed by some nice documentation on pagination. We can also ask Prisma AI how we should go about implementing this. And you see here, it's given me some great recommendations on exactly how I can implement the take option within my code. And it's also referring me to the pagination docs.
So there you have it. Prisma Optimize makes database optimization accessible for developers of all levels. Remember, it's best used in local deployment, so make sure you run it on your database queries before you deploy. For loads more information, including detailed documentation, blog articles, the official website, and a collection of optimized templates that you can use, check the description down below, and I'll see you next time.